Imagine a world where humans are no more than playthings, where to refuse a house guest is worse than to rape an entire nation of women, where everyone is related by blood and still having children, and where a marriage contract consists of nothing more than eating a piece of fruit, and a good meal consists of smoked fattened bones. Don't be scared. Welcome to the Olympian Zone.
Let us start with the muses. No, you know what? Everyone else does, so let's be different. Let's start with Aphrodite, the fairest of all the gods and goddesses. Now, Aphrodite was pretty much the physical incarnation of sex, so naturally, all guys, divine and mortal alike, were after her. Here we see her getting fawned on and fought over by two eager suitors. Now, when she wasn't sleeping around, Aphrodite could be either haughty and vengeful, such was the case with Hippolytus, or kind and wish-granting, as with Pygmalion. Now, don't get the wrong idea and think she was a girly pushover. After all, she did cause the Trojan War. Like they say, love hurts.
As intense as Aphrodite's lustful attraction may be, it is nothing compared to the rages of Poseidon, god of the sea. He was the earth-shaker, god of earthquakes, and of all the power of the mighty storms of the great ocean. Here is an example of his mighty fury.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Well, we filmed this right after Odysseus finally returned home. And after 10 years of creating storms to prevent him from getting there, you'd need a break too. And besides, he's bottling it all up for a great tsunami or something. Yeah. Now we'll move on to the story of the abduction of Persephone. Now, Persephone was the only daughter of Demeter, goddess of the grain and harvest. Now, Persephone, she attracted the eye of Hades, lord of the underworld. Now, this is her story.
It all began when Persephone was picking flowers in a meadow.
Big mistake right there.
Indeed. Now,
Hades saw her there in the meadow and knew that this was his time to strike. He ran up and abducted her and brought her down to be his queen in the underworld. Alas, nobody heard the poor girl's screams but Echo, and none saw her enter the underworld but Helios, so Demeter had no idea what happened to her cherished daughter. She searched high and low, and even lived on earth for a time and was nursed to Demphune. But alas, to no avail. She still could not find her daughter, and dried up all the earth to show her sorrow. Zeus feared for the lives of the mortal humans on earth, and sent Hermes off in search of Persephone. Hermes, clever god of travelers, tricksters, and athletics, was also the god who brought the souls of the dead down to Charon, and he had an idea of where to find Persephone, and went down to Hades in search of her. Alone and disconsolate in the dark depths of the abyss, Persephone accepted Hades' hospitality by eating a pomegranate. While she didn't know it at the time, Hades had just tricked her into guaranteeing she could never permanently leave him. However, Hermes brought her back to Olympus and her mother. When Demeter found out she had eaten the fruit and would live with Hades half the year, she was disappointed. But she allowed rain to fall, and the people of the world were saved.
Thank goodness, or this would have been a much more boring and unnarrated movie.
praise the gods. Anyway, the way you know that Persephone is still with Demeter is by the change of seasons, from bleak fall and winter to spring and summer.
And now, here is a lesson in why boasting is bad. I would like to tell you the story of two of the most powerful deities, Apollo, the archer, and his twin sister, Artemis, the huntress. Now their mother, Leto, was once insulted by a mortal woman, Niobe. Now if there's one thing you want to do in ancient Greece, never ever insult a goddess.
Now Leto sent her children off to teach Niobe a lesson for that insult by killing all of Niobe's children. There's Niobe now on the far right, looking pretty good for a woman who's just had her sons killed by Apollo. But who wouldn't be happy with those beautiful daughters? Little did she know that Artemis was ready, waiting to avenge her mother. Niobe rushed to save her youngest daughter, but it was too late. As she wept, her tears hardened, and she turned to stone, eternally weeping. And the moral? Don't disappear.
And a good thing to remember, too. Ah, here we come to Hephaestus, the lame craftsman god. He was famous for making chairs that no one could get out of. Theseus had to be ripped out by Heracles, which is why Athenian men have such slender hips. Even his mother Hera got stuck in one. Here, we see the construction of one of these famous chairs. Ah, Hephaestus, always the comedian.
This is Hera, wife of Zeus and goddess of all gods. She is best known for her rage against Zeus's consorts and children. And now for a change of pace. Meet Hestia, steady, stoic Hestia, goddess of the hearth. She left her seat on Olympus for the quiet life, and to escape Olympian drama.
From the boring life, you mean? Now, in an effort to jazz up this movie, I bring you the story of Athena and Arachne. And, to even add more excitement, you will hear the goddess speak.
Here's another reason why being an egomaniac might just get you turned into a bug. All finished! I bet I can weave better than Athena. You, me, knit, now. You look better that way.